He used to be fast. Now he won't even run against me.
Chicken. Won't do it.
Oh, man, you guys are crazy.
Former fastest man in the world. Here's Donovan Bailey.
Guys,
You look pretty slow sitting there, too.
Well, you know,
right now.
that's
Over for you.
That's
Bailey.
usually what happens when you wear a
Over.
jacket.
For
The
you.
guy walks in the studio and you're going to taunt him.
It is what it is, man. It's Thursday.
I told him if he runs the 100 against you and I and beats us by 70 yards,
Not enough.
not enough.
Listen,
There's no upside.
I would have to beat you guys by 120 yards, and and that's running 100 meters. You know,
However, you know that's possible if you've seen us.
well, you know what? Even if I did that, if I'm going to get flack from you guys. It's
true.
a no-win situation.
Don't forget, it's probably 5 seconds before either Macau and I even react to the gun, right? We're like,
Our first question would be, what the hell was that?
jeez. Yeah. Take cover.
Well, there's a lot of places to go here, but is there any reason other than just circumstance that because we had this long list of Canadian sprinters that made their mark, and more than one at a time, and we've gone to a little dry period now.
Right.
Is that circumstance, or is there something going on?
You know what? I think Tyson Gay said it best. He just said, it's Jamaica's time. I think that the evolution of time shows that there's dominance in sprinting from certain countries. I mean, the U.S. for a very long time, I guess, because they're pulling from a demographic of 330 odd million people.
Right.
They're going to find some people that are really fast. And certainly the Brits with Linford Christie and John Regis and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 90s, myself and Bruni and our relay team. And the Jamaicans, the Jamaicans have always been fast. They've
always been there.
They've always been there. And also, Linford, from a Jamaican perspective, England had the benefit of Linford competing for them. And of course, I'm Canadian, but I was born in Jamaica. But the kids always were there. There's always a sea of talent. And I think that now the coaches are better. A lot of those kids that went away to the U.S. in the 70s and 80s on scholarships, a lot of them are coaches. So they're bringing back that expertise back to an island that, the biggest and deepest grassroots training program in the world exists.
Yeah, and I've had this belief for a long time, and I've said it a few times on the air. I believe that the best athletes in any particular sport could also have been the best athletes in any number of other sports. It's where those great athletes gravitate in their early days. In Canada, they gravitate towards hockey.
Absolutely.
So our best athletes are playing hockey, so we're the best at hockey.
Right.
The greatest athletes in America might gravitate towards baseball, football, basketball.
Absolutely.
So they're the best at those sports.
Yes.
In Jamaica, the best athletes gravitate to track.
Absolutely.
And most specifically, short distance races.
Well, it's the glamour event. That's number one. And one of the great things
So
about.
I should be surprised that a little island produces so many great sprinters, right?
Yeah. You know what? I'm not surprised. You know what? And because like I said, it's been there for years. And I encourage people that, every January, I think late January, early February, the Jamaican High School Championships, it is by far
outrageous, right?
No, it's one of the greatest events you could ever go to because you actually see 12 and 13 and 14-year-old kids become stars because there is a whole stadium of 50,000 people cheering for that kid. So he actually gets used to, one, training, two, the media, three, the pressure of the crowd. There's so much going on. And it's these same kids that go on to do move the bar and smash the records that we see happening.
The 100-meter final at the high school championships in Jamaica must be a heck of a race.
Absolutely.
It must be a big-time race.
You know what, though? But the thing is, though, if you, we should go down there. Yeah. But there's 5 sets of 100 meters because you have the 13-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, the 15-year-olds. And they just roll them off like that. So you're sitting there watching this, and you can actually see, that guy's going to be a star in 3 years, and you can actually see it. It's so. When I speak to a lot of the Canadians, I'm like, it's like hockey. You see that that first boy put on the skates and he just flies around the rink. You kind of go, okay, you know what? As long as he gets his stick handling a little bit better, he's going to be a star. I mean, and you see that in track and field in Jamaica.
Are there distance runners in Jamaica that have made their mark?
Well,
I'm trying to think of any.
I think distance running.
African nations have dominated that,
Right.
and culturally, it is it's sort of understandable, but at the same time, again, I think they're funneling their athletes. That's the glamour sport in Africa. So the best athletes get funneled into long distance running.
Right.
But is there? I mean, is it just sprinters in Jamaica?
I think so. I think that when you look at Ethiopia, I mean, Haile Gebrselassie is a good friend of mine,
Right.
and all the Kenyans, you see them and like sprinting to them, it's 800 meters.
Yeah,
Like it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like and then it goes up. I mean, these guys to run a marathon to them is nothing because
that's normal.
Maybe it's a mode of transportation. Like maybe it is that they use in their countries, in their respective countries. But yeah, I mean, Africa gravitates to long distance. But in Jamaica, it's definitely speed and power. You find that there's a lot more kids that are doing 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump, triple jump. I mean, even now you see that there's some kids that were in London throwing the shot put and the javelin. But again, you're a big kid. So like, all right, there's no football program. They can't play soccer. So
well, the kid from Trinidad Tobago won the javelin, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
So again, this is the filter system from Jamaica into the U.S. college system. And again, coaches and also athletes recognizing that this is an outlet for them to go, to gain whatever it is that they're going to have, which is, money, fame, a college degree.
Right. You said Tyson. You echoed the words of Tyson Gay saying it's Jamaica's time. Does that mean you think that there could be another time that will come along when it'll be Canada's time in sprinting again?
I hope so. I mean, I've said. I mean, I'm always pretty hard on the kids that are competing right now. Although I mean, I cried, when I see what happened with them the other day.
With the relay.
Oh yeah, but I think that these kids. I believe that these kids are as talented as we were, or even better.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
which kids you're talking about? So we know
the real. I mean,
about.
well, I think Justin Warner. I mean, I actually just saw him specifically because I saw him actually compete. I saw him run the last leg, and he's a kid. I mean, he got the baton in sixth place. And he came third. So clearly he ran down a few people. So I'm saying to Justin, listen, dude, run 9.9. It's really simple then because you have it in you. I mean, it's so, and on all the other kids, I mean, Aaron Brown, Akeem Haynes, I mean, these are all young kids that are really talented. And I want them to understand that it's there for the taking. I mean, the bar that we left is pretty high.
Is the infrastructure there to support them to become great?
You know what? I believe so because I think that the support system is better. From what I understand, is better than when I was competing. However, I still believe in a lot of the kids leaving here and going to warm weather training, living in a warm weather place.
It's not a bad idea, is it?
It's a great. If you're playing hockey, stay here.
Yeah.
No, but if you're going to be a sprinter, you definitely should go to warm weather training and be there 98% of the time.
Right.
Because realistically, you should be thinking about. Getting ready to be on the Diamond League circuit, getting ready to competing at. I mean, the Olympics is just finished, and I think people are, a lot of people are asking me, what are the track and field guys do? I said it's a pro sport. If you think of golf, if Tiger plays the Masters, then there's another competition a week later if he chooses to go to it. And track and field is no different. So
there's lots of competitions in Europe, specifically. Right?
Absolutely. But these are even the bigger events now because it's after the Olympic Games and the Olympics was in Europe. So I mean, for them to go across to Zurich or Brussels or Berlin, it's very, very simple.
With Donovan Bailey, I've known you a while, and I know you to be a proud Canadian, despite your heritage. But I must say, I have a certain level of disappointment with you in that you were clearly unable to recruit Usain Bolt to become a Canadian.
Yeah.
Prior to either these Olympics or the other ones. Did you even make an effort? Is what I want to know.
There's still time.
Did you not talk to him about the benefits of becoming a Canadian?
Well,
whatever that might be, I don't know.
That
what
was
that
our
is.
System, right?
that was the system. Well, we don't have anybody that runs fast. There's a guy.
Let's go recruit him.
Let's go recruit him.
You know what? There's still time, and Johan came and ran in the Donovan Bailey Invitational in June in Edmonton, and he likes Canada.
Well,
and apparently Asafa likes Toronto very much also. So
come on,
we got some time.
Giddy up.
You the man, as they say.
Me the man.
If you're going to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's all's not lost in terms of Canada.
No, we got some great kids. I mean, I think Glenroy's working with all the talent that he has. He's the coach there.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that we have some amazing kids. I mean, like I said, I mean, you know what? I was sitting there and I'm like, man, this kid came back. Justin came back. I mean, he's on the podium, and it's the first time. It's the first time since I retired, since the Canadian squad has actually put together 4 good kids. So they probably have 6 or 8 good kids in the program. You know, so I was very happy to see them. But you know, so I was probably more disappointed than even them because you know, I've always been a proud Canadian talking about the kids and what we've got in domination and stepping on the track and people fearing us. Because when I competed, that's what it was. I mean, so essentially, you know, what Jamaica is today was what we were. We're the number 1 relay team for 6 years straight, and we were feared wherever we went across the world. So I mean, so I just want the Canadian team to come back.
And you know, I was thinking the exact same thing, but the word I was thinking of was arrogance, because you guys had
that too.
You had an attitude,
swagger.
You guys had swagger.
We had swagger. Well, you have to have swagger.
That's a big part.
I believe
of
that. Yeah,
I was watching that night where they had the 100 meters of the day. I was here, and each one of those guys. I mean, as much was going on at the starting line as there was during the race.
Yep.
And they were talking to the cameras, but they were talking to each other as well, weren't they?
Well,
there was a lot of preening, and
you're sending out some signs to whomever it is that is weak enough to listen. Because listen, if you're weak enough to listen,
I don't remember you doing that.
Well, because I did my job in the call room. Because I mean, right. I knew that everyone. I knew that who feared me. I mean, I knew that already. I mean, I knew who lost the race. I knew who I had a race with before I stepped on the track. So I mean, but we did talk. It just it wasn't. But it's not like now. It's like it's a different.
It's a whole show before the race even starts.
Yeah, it's a different show now. But we did speak. I mean, the Olympic finals. I remember before we went, I did say to the entire field, I said, maybe you guys can all wait for the gun now.
Nice.
So,
did they say anything back?
Well, I don't know if they said anything back. They were behind me. They all were behind me.
Oh, nice. All right, we know you were fast. Now go down there and find us some runners.
He was
go do some
really
recruiting.
Fast.
Call Usain.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, listen, we can always get him to marry a Canadian and move. Hey.
Why don't we work on Justin Warner? Let's get him to be fast.
You know what? No, I'm telling you. The kids that Canada have in the relay program, I mean, I think that the kids need to understand that fundamentally the 4 guys that's representing the U.S. and representing Jamaica, they are 4 fast men individually, and they're not dependent on the relay or the relay program. So what they need to understand is that they need to work hard to get their individual times
correct
down, and that will make the relay team even more fierce.
Right.
Because our relay team was fierce because I was the number 1 sprinter in the world. Bruni was always top 5.
Yeah, 3, 4.
Glenroy was always a beast on the backstretch. Carlton Chambers was a standout sprinter at University of Clemson, and Robert Esme was one of the guys that we could depend on. He was always going to run 10-2 or 10-3 at the time. So I mean so we had guys that was our fast men. But so these kids got to understand now. The world record is 9.5.
We're getting down there.
The world record is 9.5, so they can't really worry about what we did or what happened then.
That's
they
right.
have to prepare themselves to compete against the world record holder today, who is very young, and the guy that's second is younger and running 9.7, and the other guy's running 9.7. I mean, I'm just saying it's 9.7, 9.7, 9.8. I mean, it's just. It's a lot of speed.
It was good to hear all those names one after another. Glenroy and
we all remember them.
That
was a
great team.
We got to get out of here.
Right.
Nice to see you,
Yep.
as usual.
Thank you for having me.
Find out January, February, whenever that the Jamaican high school.
Oh, I can get that to you. That's easy.
And when's the race between you two? I'll be the guy with the gun.
I have no idea.
Whenever he wants.
Yeah. Not me. That's okay.
Can't win. He can't win.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if he wins, he can't win.
If I say yes, I can't win. Correct.
The former fastest man in the world, still the gold medalist, Donovan Bailey.